The No Fate channel checking in, and my training for the Vermont Spartan Beast is finally underway. I'm going to be giving you 4 tactics that I am going to be using to prepare my legs and my body to handle the 12 plus miles up and down the side of the Killington ski slopes. The hardest and by far the most important aspect of any obstacle course race training is, of course, the running. Even for the shortest Spartan race, you still have to cover 3 miles. It is going to be by far the largest energy output your body is going to be required over the course of a Tough Mudder, of a Spartan, of a mud run. Any of those obstacle course races, you have to be able to run and run well. When most people prepare for the run portion of an obstacle course race, they get on a treadmill or on the road and they do what's known as LSD, long, slow distance. And while I don't want to say that's wrong, I don't necessarily think it's the most effective use of your time. Going out on the road and doing a lot of distance slowly is pretty brutal on your joints. Most people who go out there and only do long, slow distance never see much improvement at all. They're out there jogging mile after mile and they don't know why they're getting any better. But frankly, the straight fact is their heart rate is never increased high enough to increase their anaerobic threshold, and they're never going at a maximum pace to push their VO2 max higher and increase their body's ability to absorb oxygen into their bloodstream. I'm going to go over the 4 types of training that I use to prepare my legs, my lungs, and most importantly, my heart to handle the distance involved with covering the Vermont Spartan Beast and any obstacle course race for that matter. Number 1 on the list is active rest sprints. You find a distance on the street, you can use a track or a treadmill for that matter, that's close to a half a mile. And the first thing you do is you sprint that half a mile at 90 to 100% of your maximum speed. And when you get to the end of that half mile, you simply turn around and you jog as slowly as you want, but you just keep moving, but jog very slowly another half mile. Now that half mile jog, that really slow crawl, that is your rest. Then when you get to the end of that half mile, you repeat it. You sprint another half mile and then you jog very, very slowly another half mile for your rest. This is a great way to build up your anaerobic threshold, and it's a great way to get your mileage in. After just a few reps, you're going to have a number of miles under your belt and you will be completely exhausted. You know you're doing this training right when you get to the end of the sprint portion and you can barely breathe and you are seeing stars. And you also know that you're doing it right because it takes you almost the entire half mile jog back to the start of your sprint to actually recover. Number 2 on the list, hill sprint repeats. You can do this on a treadmill, but ideally you're going to do this on a road. Find the steepest, the longest, the biggest hill in your area, and you are going to sprint up it at literally 100% of your maximum speed. Before you even get to the top of that hill, you should be completely exhausted. And when you get to the top, you should barely be able to breathe, hands on your knees. You are then going to walk back down to the start of the hill. That's known as what's known as full recovery, because you're walking the whole distance that you sprinted. You're going to get full recovery, okay? And then you are going to repeat that. You are going to, again, sprint all the way up to the top of the hill, hence hill sprint repeats. The reason I do these hill sprint repeats, not only is it brutal on your legs and definitely a way to build up their endurance without actually putting a lot of mileage on them, you're improving your VO2 max because you're going at literally 100% of your body's capacity to get up that hill, and because you're getting full recovery. So when you start that next sprint, your body should have hopefully had all your levels and your heart rate drop right back down to what is as close to normal as you can get them. Number 3 on the list is the Stairmaster, Stanley Stairmaster. Now most people will get on the Stairmaster and go at a constant pace for the entire time they're on, and they get an okay workout. When I get on the Stairmaster, I jack that speed up as fast as it will go, and I hold on for a minute. That 60 seconds feels like a lifetime, and at the end of that 60 seconds, I bring that speed all the way down. It doesn't matter what you bring it down to, really the slower the better. Let your body cool down, calm down, get your heart rate back to as close to normal as you can, because after that 30 seconds rest, it's back up to maximum speed. And of course, you rinse and repeat that process. It's brutal. You don't need many minutes of maximum speed on the Stairmaster to really do yourself in. You'd be surprised how few minutes it takes to get a really good workout in. The fourth tactic that I will be using during the duration of my training for the Vermont Spartan Beast is to get on a treadmill, set the incline to maximum, and simply walk. On most treadmills, that incline is 15 degrees. On the really good ones, it's 20 degrees, and just simply walk. And it doesn't have to be at a very fast pace, but the idea is to imitate going up the side of a ski slope. 20 degrees is probably not as steep as you're going to face if you're heading up to Vermont with me, but it's as good as you're going to get without actually finding a ski slope of your own to walk up during the summer. The one thing you do not want to do, if you can avoid it, is do not hold on to the handrails of the treadmill, because on the ski slope during race day, there won't be any handrails. I hope you found these 4 tactics useful. I want to know in the comments below, what's your next race and what's your longest run going to be in training for that race? As usual, thanks for watching, and don't save anything for the trip back. The No Fake channel is dedicated to providing you with ideas on how to improve your community at home, your community in your neighborhood, and your community in your town. I'll also be giving you insight into this dad's tricks, trips, and tribulations.